Better fucking kill me, kids.
According to his lunch, the answer is short and sweat. No, you cannot make an alien DNA seed off of the same printer.
Everybody, I'll be right back. Mom, what type of pizza is this?
What?
What type of pizza is this?
3 meat. Got pepperoni, sausage, and bacon.
Yeah.
Here, you want some help, son?
Yeah, you gotta help him because I'm afraid.
Let me help you, please.
Yeah, he get cut right out of his eye. Sweet, bud. Yeah, I tried to remember these sticks.
You don't like that? Did you eat a beef? Have you seen them beef steak and cheeses?
They're good. I ate one earlier.
One?
What is it? What I bought some.
Cheese and beef sticks.
These little boxes that have those.
Like the mozzarella cheese and beef sticks.
Oh, you're talking about the little.
Yeah.
You want one?
No.
Check this out, guys. Angie took 2 of my puppies the other day out of my room. She took and brought back yesterday 2 12-packs.
Did she?
Giving me 2 pups.
Like, scratch one back there. Right there, exactly. What is that?
Ah! Good. You hear that?
I'm teaching how to play keyboard. So for those people who wanna, get keyboard, we're free too. You don't even have to pay.
I found some stuff in the box. In the closet.
Run away.
Throw that in the box.
Oh, that's
Whew, my
What's
back.
it?
Found this stuff. Pigs.
No, put that down. You scared
My
me.
pictures?
You don't have that.
Yeah, found them in, you know that shelf where you had like stuff hanging on the right there by the stairs until it fell? I'm guessing. It looks like it fell. The board's off. It looked like it fell.
They wouldn't have done it on its own.
I don't know, but Hayden, you see you as a baby?
6 days, Marianne. 6 days.
Look how little you were. Me? I'm just saying, man. Look at this.
This has cheese in it?
No, there's sticks of cheese that go with it.
Yeah, they're good, Bob. I had one.
You gotta get these sticks of cheese.
Andrew Peril.
Yeah.
What's it from?
I just found this stuff in the
Let me
box.
see. Let me see the page.
Hey, look, it's pictures of me and Trent from 2014.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
This is my
Hey,
resume.
Mom, you're gonna want this.
These are my resumes.
Resumes for what?
Work resumes.
What am I going with?
You know,
This
these are all
picture-
kinds of work resumes. Shit.
Hold on. Plain mustard chicken nuggets barbecue. I'm not even gonna ask. Because it's probably that.
These are work resumes. Oh, I'll leave them in there. Come on, work resumes.
What do you eat on there?
I got her.
Yeah. So great announcement. You can see them on keyboard because I am switching the keyboard and I don't like controller no more. Like if I play controller, it's the only reason, and this is the only reason why. Because, either my
Mom.
keyboard broke
Mom,
or yeah.
you wanna get a frame?
Huh?
You wanna get a frame?
I don't like to put them in a frame because they stick to the glass after so many years, and when you try, if the glass breaks, it ruins the whole picture and you can't replace it. Like it rips it.
Can I have this?
No.
Ew.
Girl.
Look how young we were.
I know.
Mom, come here.
I can't believe I wore a dress. This was in 6th grade.
What do you want, Aiden? Come where?
Where is it, bro?
Ew, I can't move myself like that. Oh shit, I forgot. Are they done?
I don't know. What is it?
The chicken nuggets.
I didn't even know something was in there. They're
How burnt?
Destiny. Damn, bro, I didn't even know that was cooking in there.
You're only 130 some minutes. Probably 40 to 50 some.
Never know, maybe he might like them more crispy.
Hey, you want some munchies? Oh, man, I didn't make munchies. Earlier, I ate that cheese stick and that beef stick. The hell is that shit?
What is nacho?
Never had that. Is it really
These
good?
are good too.
What the hell is that?
Probably still gonna eat them. Yeah, I know. Dad said you bought those.
Are they good?
I don't know how to fucking.
Do you think I could eat it?
Stuff on it.
Ooh, fuck on it. Oh, resolve.
I don't know how these are fucking.
What's these called?
Chris? Chocolate?
This is me. I wish I had one too.
Is it good?
But I just got a couple of these. I miss having one of these. I wish I would have had one.
Katie's done it on my teeth if you don't start rushing them.
How you spell chillin'?
Yeah.
Hey,
What?
how you spell chillin'?
C-H-I-L-I-N.
Yeah.
That's how you spell chili. Oh,
You
you
don't
won't
keep
like
it.
it.
Oh, who's
No,
that?
right.
You didn't drink that.
That's so nice. I don't need one.
I was playing with Tammy. Look, my freaking shit.
Mom, where's my tablet?
Did you use this for
Yes.
anything? You did? Nice. Open it.
Morning. I'm a pop.
I don't care.
Oh, you got a
Ask
house.
him.
Katie knows your house too, right?
When I go outside,
No.
You're in trouble
Mystical
from
punk.
Mikey.
this is.
Hey.
How am I in trouble?
You're not in trouble, just no. You can spend the day in with us today.
Yeah. No, your friends are over yet today.
Until
Miranda.
well, until they come over. Mom,
You gonna try this, Aiden?
no.
What's it taste?
The chicken. Is it chicken one? Oh shit. Damn, every time.
It's good, but I think I'm gonna have to put it in the microwave now.
What's all in there?
I don't know, it's pretty sweet.
Spicy?
Shit, I almost fell.
And that's what you got.
I almost fell.
I know.
Took 10 to the left.
That's what I said. It's freaking cold.
Me too, for reals.
Who's Bagel Bite?
Not mine.
I don't know. Who's Bagel Bites?
Not mine. I know, not mine.
you ask Amber if she made bagel bites? Forgot about it.
Did she?
Nope.
Well, who the hell's cooking?
The dad?
Did you make them, Andy? Bagels?
Bagel
Go
bites.
ask Amber.
Amber said no. I know I didn't do it.
I
Who
know.
the fuck put bagel bites in there? Where'd they put them at?
In the microwave.
Not me.
I
They've
didn't
just
do
been
it.
sitting there.
That's crazy.
Bagel bites?
Bagel bites. A whole fucking pack.
I'll warm them up and I'll eat them.
That's crazy.
Is that you screaming now?
Why would you do that, Eric? So you took $25 from Amy and went don't smoke. Eric's on his way. He's bringing smoke.
Hey, Maureen.
Mandy.
Alright. You lost.
Mandy. Come here.
Dad, stop lying.
He's lying.
What about?
He's laughing.
What about?
He said he's lying.
What about what?
Dad, you made them.
Yeah, I made those.
Wow.
Mom.
What's that thing?
I need to extend my leave of absence to another 90 days.
How you gonna do that?
Just fail my assessment.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
My mouth's gonna fart now.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. Oh no. I have 11 motherfucking points. How many total touchdowns will be scored in the game? 5. I don't know what to do.
What?
Ohio had 502 deaths this month so far in COVID deaths. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Who had those in the oven?
I don't know. Everybody said it wasn't them. I know it wasn't me, so.
Wasn't me neither.
It's got fucking good, so I think, bagel bites.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Joe.
Hey, you know what else is true?
What?
I love you.
I don't know what to do.
About which situation?
All of it. Oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, I wish I'd been there. Should I go sell my ribs?
Then you can go sell your balls. We don't need those no more.
That's fine. I'll put them, at least somebody else can have them and can use them, because I can't. I don't need no more. I'm ready to go try another man. No, reality, what should I do?
Vivid Seats. Your ticket to ninth inning nail biters, third period penalty kills, fourth quarter buzzer beaters, and 57-yard game winners. Buy tickets, earn rewards with Vivid Seats. Life is
I finished it like an hour ago. And she received it because she's already looked at it. She's seen the thumbs up. I asked her about that. I had to interview somebody else, and she said she's not going to. She's just going to tell me she did.
That's the game plan. Stick to it.
She said that she don't want to interview anybody else. She don't want to waste their time or their time. Oh,
This
shit.
cult could come back at any time.
I think it would be best if she were able to make peace with me. I don't want to lose my son again.
This is my family, and I will not let you take me away from them. God didn't bring back Jericho.
Not dead. I came across this house with water dripping from the ceiling. You never know when something like this will happen.
No.
So let the
Come over
guy
here,
from
then
insurance
we'll
agency
use
help
my
you with homeowners insurance. Now, if I had to guess, I'd say somewhere upstairs there's a broken pipe.
Bundle and save even more at geico.com.
How bizarre.
No annual fee on any Discover card.
TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data. $20, no contract.
$20? Wow, that's great.
Yeah, hit decline. I don't want to talk to her. Hit me. Get me. This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, just $12.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one outbeats the Hut.
The Garcias are good at getting the most out of things. And making a little go a long way. And with GoodRx,
Baby, I'm gonna go grab my prescription.
they're good at saving on prescriptions at their pharmacy, too.
Hi, Mr. Garcia.
Hi, I'm here from the prescription market. We're using GoodRx.
Okay. Yep, that's a lot better. See you next time.
You're good with GoodRx.
The first step in selling your home is finding out how much it's worth. HomeLight gives you a free home valuation and matches you with top local real estate agents for a market analysis. Find out how much your home is worth for free at HomeLight.com today.
Hulu has live TV?
Hulu has live sports?
They do.
Hulu has live news?
That is correct. And Hulu also has
Live talent show.
It also has over 75 live channels.
Flip like cable, stream like Hulu. Time to have Hulu plus live TV.
I've been watching that game all damn day. And it's
I live for those kind of
No,
moments.
Mike.
So I don't want to hear it.
Listen, watch.
This is a Super Cup on the low. Touchdown! LA! Back shoulder rub, caught by Odell Beckham Jr.
Steal somebody's soul.
Deep down the right side. He's got Cup running down the half mark. He reels it in.
It's a whole lot more fun when you got to make a play like that to win the game.
Los Angeles will host the NFC Championship game.
We got you covered for this weekend's conference championships, and we've got reports from both teams in the NFC. Coley Harvey is with the 49ers. Lindsey Theory is with the Rams. We begin with Coley. What's the latest that we need to know?
Laura, the health of Trent Williams' ankle remains a big question mark for the 49ers this week, but it's clear the veteran left tackle is already convincing his head coach that he's going to play in this game. Said Kyle Shanahan this afternoon, in Trent Williams' mind, there's no way he's not playing. He believes he'll go, and so do I. Williams was in attendance at practice this afternoon, although he did not formally participate. Also in attendance, but listed as full practice participants, were quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo and receiver Deebo Samuel. As for Samuel, Shanahan did mention this afternoon an increased risk injury to putting the ball in Samuel's hands so frequently during the season. But as he noted, we're happy with where Deebo has led us this year, and Deebo is happy with where he's led this team. For more in LA, let's take it down to our Rams reporter, Lindsey Theory.
Coley, the Rams have lost 6 straight to the Niners, 2 of those with Matthew Stafford at quarterback. Stafford says their division rival is playing really good football at the moment, adding that the Niners are physical, tough, and find ways to win. When asked why they haven't been able to get a W against the Niners recently, Coach Sean McVay said the simple answer, they're a really good team. Good news for the Rams on the injury front. McVay says that left tackle Andrew Whitworth is recovering from knee and ankle injuries, and that safety Taylor Rapp is working his way through concussion protocol. Both should be available Sunday. Laura?
Thanks to Lindsey and Coley for all of the information. The Rams have been showing more versatility with their offense this postseason. Matthew Stafford needed to throw only 17 passes in the wild card round against the Cardinals, his fewest attempts in any win of his career. He made them count, though. In the divisional playoffs, Stafford let it fly, throwing for 366 yards, his most with the Rams. Both approaches worked, and that's best exemplified by their first half offense. The Rams have outscored opponents 41-3. This postseason. So, Dan, what's the key for Stafford this week to keep up that success?
Yeah, playing against the zone defense in the 49ers, he's got to do 2 things well. Use his eyes to help guys get open, and then read the leverage or body language of defenders. This clip is a perfect example. Now, this is going to be a play-action pass last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're going to get a fake to the left, and then the route concept is this. Van Jefferson, clear out this corner. Perfect. And then OBJ is going to have a double move, corner, post, and then Cooper Kupp's really going to be the guy who gets it on the deep crosser. I want everyone to pay attention to one person on the defense, Devin White, and then the space. Really remember that as you watch this play happen. Beautiful play fake. He's going to come out, hit Cooper Kupp for a huge chunk. But the back angle shows Stafford using his eyes to help Cooper Kupp come open. You're going to get that motion. There goes Van Jefferson. Now, here's Devin White, okay? When this fake happens, I want everyone to pay attention to Devin White's body language. Right now, Devin White is going hard, right? I gave you that space before at the bottom of the screen. I said pay attention to that. Devin White is trying to go there because there's nothing in the offense that is holding him. But Stafford has come out, and he is staring to the left purposely to get Devin White, and all he's trying to do is get him to go sideways. He wants him to go press this way and then get vertical. Watch what happens. Devin White is going to press, and then there, he has gone vertical. He no longer is going this way, and what you're going to get is Cooper Kupp to come open on that deep crosser strictly because of what Stafford did to his defender. Now Cooper Kupp is going to go in the motion, and you're only going to get this bubble, right? This bubble concept. Van Jefferson is going to be a clear out, and then OBJ is going to come fake block and then go down the sideline. Again, we're seeing this defender, Sean Murphy Bunting. Stafford is going to get the ball, and he's going to be staring to his left. Right now, he's just peeking this way, saying, hey guys, I'm going to throw this ball to Cooper Kupp. Now look at Murphy Bunting's shoulders. They are parallel with the line of scrimmage. If they were facing inside, he could play either that bubble or get deep enough. But Stafford realizes, because of his body language, that he cannot get deep enough if Odell gets behind him. Right now, he's going to let that ball go. His shoulders are still somewhat square to the line of scrimmage. He cannot get deep enough. That ball goes over his head. Stafford's got a really good feel for that. So, then against this 49ers zone defense, he's going to have to use his eyes to open up some windows in the pass game, and then he just does a good feel. He has a great understanding of how guys' body language, you might be in a certain location on the field. That doesn't mean that you can get to where I'm going to throw that football.
Yeah, we talked about that too, D, and obviously Sean McVay doing a phenomenal job of keeping Matthew Stafford in structure.
Yes.
Right? And then understanding that at times Matt will have to make plays outside of that. But what he's done with the addition of Cam Akers and OBJ and opening up this offense, making it more multiple. We were screaming about stop throwing 40, 50 passes a game.
Yeah.
And it all boils down to getting the ball into these type of playmakers' hands. I think Cam Akers obviously has added a different type of juice than Sony Michel. It's a good 1-2 back punch now. But Stafford is playing from such a comfort level. He's allowed time to move those linebackers that, like you just illustrated. And then this is another point. There are 2 number 1 receivers on this team. And these defensive coordinators, DeMeco Ryans obviously going to have his job cut out for him because you have to figure out who's going to hurt me more.
Can't do the same thing you did last week.
Exactly. You don't figure that out until the game gets going.
Right.
Until you figure out what Sean McVay and how he wants to use these guys. So it'll be interesting to see.
Well, in this particular offense you mentioned too, there's actually 4. Believe it or not. If you think about the 3 wide receivers, you got to add Jefferson in there, OBJ and Cooper Kupp, but you slide Higbee in there too.
Sure.
And you may not get all the targets, right? They may be, you get 6, you get 2, you get 3, but at times that matter. And I think that's the most important thing for Matthew Stafford. What's gotten him in trouble in the past, he started forcing things unnecessarily, and I think it slowed down for him now. I'm looking forward to him having a great game. Because I want to see this damn fool over here.
Oh, my
go
God.
crazy. You know what he told me? He going to run around the studio at Seaport when he come on, naked.
No, he's screaming naked. Oh, my goodness. Please. Then that's not actually naked.
Speedos, that's right.
By the way, naked and naked are different, too. So that's a whole... All right, let's move on from that before we get ourselves in trouble. Time for one more thing. Kansas City fans have used their team's overtime win as a reason to give back to Buffalo. Chiefs Kingdom started sending donations in $13 increments in honor of the 13-second drive to tie the game to the Oshai Children's Hospital, the hospital which received donations last year from Bills Mafia in honor of quarterback Josh Allen's grandmother, Patricia. Earlier today, the hospital gave this update, an incredible $178,000 from over 9,800 donors has just been donated in over 24 hours from Chiefs Kingdom. Thank you all. What an incredible gesture of giving from one fan base to another. We absolutely love to see that, and Oshai Children's Hospital does incredible work. So just wonderful to see Chiefs fans doing that.
Was that the Children's Hospital that initially had the relationship with Josh?
Yes, and donated donations were given in honor of Josh's grandmother. All right, we're getting closer and closer to NFC Championship and AFC Championship. We'll see you tomorrow on NFL Live.
An all-time record was set last night. Keith Yandel, 965 straight games, the NHL's Iron Man streak. I'm not testing the energy from you guys this deserves. When Calvert did it, you guys wrote love songs. You knew the number by Harper Rippey. You don't even know the number I just said. What's the number I just said?
900 something.
Oh, come on. Let's go around the horn. You're all getting rid of it. Let's go.
I got a big shit on that. I didn't get this a little bit. I got a fucking
David Ortiz? Yes. Yes, sure, we loved him. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, A-Rod. No, do not like them. Is there any other way to see it? The Baseball Hall of Fame memorabilia basement has a PED conundrum, and let's throw Kurt Schilling in there too. That's about politics. It's got a "we don't like you"
conundrum. It's a swampy morass. And the voters, 394 members of the Baseball Writers Association of America, who choose players, quote, on the basis of playing ability, sportsmanship, character, their contribution to the team on which they played, and baseball in general. Bill Plaschke, you used to vote for the Hall of Fame. What was last night, and what does it tell you about the game?
Yeah, I don't vote anymore because my paper doesn't allow me to. They don't want us to make the news, and I'm glad they don't. It's a mess right now. I mean, I can see Bonds and Clemens not getting in. They're steroid users. They cheated. Keep them out. But how do you put Big Papi in? How do you put David Ortiz in and keep Curt Schilling out? David Ortiz tested positive for steroids. The commissioner said to ignore that test. You can't ignore that test. So you put him in because you like him. You keep Curt Schilling out. Why? Because you don't like him. Because he doesn't like writers. I've had many players call me names and hate on me and not like me in baseball. That doesn't mean you don't vote for him for the Hall of Fame. Schilling belongs in the Hall of Fame. David Ortiz does not. Yet simply because one is affable and one is amenable and one is embracing and one is not, that's the reason it is. That's messed up.
Okay, so there are a couple parts here I want to go deeper here with you, Plaschke. You see through the voting here. We like one guy. He's a good guy. We'll vote for him. We don't like another guy. And again, you got to say it specifically. It's kind of about politics and kind of how he treated sports writers in Curt Schilling's case. But you believe Bonds to be a cheater. You believe A-Rod to be a cheater. You believe, to the extent, of course, that they don't get into the Hall of Fame because of their cheating during the game.
Absolutely. And don't give me this bit, well, Bonds was a Hall of Famer before he cheated. That doesn't mean he didn't cheat. Clemens was great before he cheated. That doesn't mean they didn't cheat. That doesn't. I was there and I lived it and I saw it. I saw how these guys, how big they got and how this hurt the players who didn't cheat, how all the players who didn't cheat were affected by the cheaters. Cheaters don't belong in the Hall of Fame. Keep them out. And David Ortiz, in my mind, is a cheater. But because he's a nice guy, people overlook that.
That was the test Major League Baseball did. The year before, they were still trying to suss out what was in the game, and that report was supposed to never come out, and it was leaked. We're going to bring in Harry Lyles Jr. here. You could rebut anything Bill Plaschke said, or how did you see the voting yesterday?
It's inconsistency. Look, I don't think any of us want the fact that these guys took PEDs to be a thing, but it's a thing that happened. And, you know, when you have somebody like Bud Selig, who was the commissioner at the time, who is in the Hall of Fame, and he kind of turned a blind eye to a lot of this happening in real time. So for him to be in the Hall of Fame is one thing, but one other thing here that I think that we need to kind of recognize is by not putting these guys in the Hall of Fame, you're not taking or protecting the game. You're not protecting it at all, because in previous generations you had guys that were taking amphetamines. And also, and I think people really overlook this very important fact, for the first 78 years of the game was not integrated. There were not black players in this game, and we don't hold that against those kinds of guys. So by not putting in the guys of the steroid era, I don't think that you're protecting this purity of the game. It does not exist. So I think that we need to kind of take a step back and put these guys into what this is. It's a museum of the game.
Frank Isola, I'll bring you in here.
Yeah, I was once upon a time a card-carrying baseball writer. I never voted for the Hall of Fame. I don't have that card anymore. I completely understand Bill's position. My issue is, if you're going to put David Ortiz in, how do you not put Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens in? I would have, if I had a vote this year, I would have voted for four guys. I think four deserved it. I think David Ortiz more so, Curt Schilling, definitely Barry Bonds, definitely Roger Clemens. I don't understand how they could pick one and not the other. Now, remember something about the writers, because they're getting killed all over the place. 66% did vote for Barry Bonds to get in. 65% voted for Roger Clemens to get in. So the majority voted for them to be Hall of Famers. They just didn't reach that magical number. And to Bill's point about players that are liked, not liked, I'm going to give you, and I've mentioned on this show a million times, Albert Bell. Go look at his numbers. 8 straight years, at least 30 home runs, 9 straight years, over 100 RBIs. Albert Bell never got considered. And I think a lot of that had to do with his relationship with the media.
Al, I want to bring you in here as well and your thoughts on it, but also just let me add this. Could you see a modification to the voting process in either the character clause, because that word means different things to different people, or can you see a modification in who's voting?
Well, if they were going to do a modification, they would have done it years and years and years ago when McGuire and Sosa came up and they knew this was going to be an issue with Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. They could have been a little bit more specific to the writers about what and how they should be measuring these quote-unquote Hall of Fame careers. But for Bill to sort of gloss over like, oh, miss me with this, Barry Bonds had Hall of Fame numbers before the PED accusation. You can't miss him with that. Like, take away those years that he was accused of doing it, right? 1998 to 2007. If you take those years out of the equation, Barry Bonds would have ended his career still with a 290 career batting average, still with a 160 career OPS, with over 1,900 hits, with over 400 home runs. You know who else has similar slash lines to that? Jimmy Fox, Babe Ruth, Ted Williams. Those guys are Hall of Famers, and that's the point. Is that the frustrating part of all of this is that it's selective justice. It looks like if you're affable, if you get along with the writers, if they like you, if you give great sound bites, then you get into the Hall of Fame, and we'll just sort of gloss over your PED use. But if you were the greatest hitter of all time, we're going to punish you. It just felt like they were proving their point. They had their point made. They should have put it in the final opportunity to make the ballot, and they didn't. It's a dark day in baseball because they look like hypocrites.
Lashley, I'll bring you back in.
So, Elsa, you're saying it's okay if you were good before you cheated, it's okay to be a cheater. It's okay to be a cheater as long as you're good before you're cheating? Is that what you're saying about Barry Bonds? Because he cheated.
No, what I'm saying is they just selected David Ortiz as a first ballot Hall of Famer, and they should have, right? Because there's only been 34 other players that have contributed more runs than David Ortiz, and the only ones that aren't in the Hall of Fame are not in there because of off-the-field issues. Yes, if it's about how you matter and the impact that you make, nobody was more impactful for the Boston Red Sox than David Ortiz. You could argue he is the most important Red Sox player of all time. What I'm saying is you don't pick and choose. It's not a popularity contest, even though it appears that it is. You don't get to pick and choose, gloss over David Ortiz's PED use, and then say, Barry, but poor other players, Bill, what they did to the other players rode that wave just like Bud Selig did, with record ratings, with new TV deals, all brought on by the steroid era.
Other players gave up mammoth home runs, got beat when they weren't supposed to get beat. No, I mean, the whole point of this is I don't think David Ortiz should be in there either. And also, let's be clear about this. These players aren't being kept out of baseball history. Their achievements are in the Hall of Fame. There's no asterisk besides Barry Bonds' hits. There's no asterisk besides Roger Clemens. They're in the Hall of Fame. They're just not being honored as Hall of Famers. There's a big difference, and I find it very dubious to honor a cheater as a Hall of Famer.
Did Bill convince any of you guys? Harry, did Bill convince you?
No, not at all. I think that this is a part of the game. This is a part of the history of the game. And given that this is, again, the Hall of Fame and its mission says it is a museum of the game, you have to tell the entirety of its history.
So you walk in there and you say, well, point me to the guy who's got the most hits in the history of the game. Oh, he's not in there. Oh, well, point me to the guy who's got the most. They're in there. Oh, well, he's not in there as well. I mean, point me to the guy who's got the most, whatever it is. I mean, it's comical in that regard, isn't it, Plasky?
No, because all the achievements are in there are just their bust. They're not.
All right, there's a bust in there for Ty Cobb. The character clause. I think history has proven what that suggests. I don't even want to do this, but I mean, Kirby Puckett was a great player in the 80s and 90s. A character clause that wouldn't hold up for him right now as well. In his own autobiography, the great, period. Hank Aaron, period, talks about using amphetamine in his own autobiography. I think it's page 268. I mean, for baseball to not recognize what it has in the past, and then
they are
continues.
I think what's going to hurt baseball next year is that you're going to get guys because there were 7 players on everyone's ballot. So you take off those players, Schilling, Bonds, and Clemens. Guys are going to move up. So no offense to Scott Rowland, Todd Helton, they're probably going to get into the Hall of Fame, and you're not going to have Schilling, Bonds, and Clemens. That's a little tough to do.
Well, it has created in many ways, Joe, just a stopgap of who gets in and who doesn't get in. And baseball created all of this. What a great way to distract from the lockout that's going on right now. We had this conversation. We've been on. We're going to move on. How the Clippers came back on the Wizards last night, and how the Wizards historically vomited this game away. The last 9 seconds, Luke Kennard hit a 32-footer. The Wizards wizarded it with a 5-second violation, and Kennard hit the 3 in the foul from Bradley Beal for a 4-point play. It was 7 points in 9 seconds for Kennard, second biggest comeback in NBA history. Frank Isola, how did this happen? And is the storyline the Clippers or Wizards?
That loss is going to keep the Wizards out of the Hall of Fame, and it should. You know, Tony, prior to last night, in the last 20 years, there have been 16,240 games played where a team is trailed by at least 7 points with 20 seconds to go.
and the team has won one time. Last night, it was the second time. If you are the Washington Wizards, you're up 35 points. You give up 80 in the second half, and then your best player fouls Luke Kennard shooting the three. Foul him on the cap. That was a complete disaster. They were a disaster a couple nights early against Boston. Defensively, something is going on with that team. That's a disgrace.
Harry Lyles Jr.
Listen, Tony, as somebody who is a fan of the Atlanta Falcons football franchise of the National Football League, I appreciate a good, just embarrassing loss, right? Blown lead. Like, I really know a good one when I see one, and that was performance art. Frank mentioned this, that the fact that it is so rare for that to happen with that little time, to me, this is all about the Wizards. That doesn't take away from the great comeback that the Clippers had and the effort that it took from their reserve players, but come on, Washington.
Was this more about the Clippers or more about the Wizards?
First of all, let me say, this is the saddest thing to happen to the wizard community since Dumbledore hated in the Half-Blood Prince. But in similar fashion, we just have to keep our lives. And honestly, so did the Wizards. 7 turnovers in the fourth quarter alone, but don't take this away from the Clippers, guys. This is what they do. This is the third comeback this month alone of at least a 24-point deficit for LA. So give them some credit.
Give the Clippers full credit. This was all about them. At halftime, Reggie Jackson in the locker room, they're down by 30, said, quote, we're having right where we want to be. This is exactly where we want to be. The Clippers, Ty Lue has put a belief.
So write a column about him, Bill. You're a columnist, write about the
Unbelievable. Shots fired. LW, Queen of the Dark Arts right now in the lead. What's worse? The worst loss from last night in the NBA, blowing a 36-point lead or losing by 53 like the Sacramento Kings did. They had one guy in double figures. That's hard to do in the NBA in 2020.
Haven't made the playoffs in 15 years.
Buy or sell on the other side.
Around the Horn is brought to you by the stylish Lexus RX. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
What if your resume could adapt and improve? Even create opportunities that let you be seen. An Indeed resume never stops working for you.
Juliana, Big Mac, no pickles, extra special sauce. And Jimena, quarter pounder with cheese, extra pickles, no one.
Thanks, Dad.
You got it.
Enjoy any 2 classics for $6, like a Big Mac or quarter pounder with cheese for a limited time at McDonald's. Are you okay?
Oh, it's just a cold. If you have high blood pressure, a cold is not just a cold. Unlike other cold medicines, Coracetin provides powerful cold relief without raising your blood pressure. Be there for life's best moments with Coracetin, now in sugar-free liquid.
Another crown?
Let's have a water this round, please.
Does that make sense?
You got this.
What is it?
Thank you.
What is it?
Stay hydrated. Stay warm. Take a walk break and moderate your drinking on game day. It's too dark in here. I need to get out.
Just calm down.
I can't calm down. The walls are closing in. I'm freaking out.
Relax, Yellow.
Just take a deep breath.
Let's do that again. At last, M&M's Mix.
Imagine shopping for a car from here and making sure it's the one there, and still being able to buy it from anywhere. Now imagine driving off into the, well, you know. When the custom and creative is out there, why buy boring?
Especially it's a little small.
People think unusual circumstances means complicated taxes. But for a TurboTax Live expert like me, it just makes things interesting. So, give us the ambitious new startup that failed small business.
All of your dependents and dependents.
Yes, give us your surprising inheritance. There are odd injuries too. Even your semi-nomadic life in a van. An interesting life? You won't even get a refund. You do your thing. We've got your taxes.
I'm a fancy exercise bike noob, and I've gone from 0 to obsessed in like 3 days. After riding 12 miles to nowhere, I'm taking detours. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, you could be working out a way to pay for this yourself.
Get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem for a whole lot less.
Just take it slow. Slow, slow.
Mom?
Wow. Wow. And we'll check them both for free.
Yes. Fix Finder, the most complete free warning light report backed by technician verified fixes.
Fiverr freelancers developed my app exactly as I envisioned. All I did was log on, I found freelancers, I picked the one that would fit my budget and the one that had great reviews. Join Fiverr today and get something going.
Absolutely electrifying. 14 brilliance. It's an impressive performance. Oh, and he finishes.
Welcome back to Around the Horn, brought to you by Chase. Coming to you from the Seaport District at Pier 17.
Lakers 106, Nets 96. Lakers returned and beat steals. We'll get to that in a second. And LeBron has how many steals at midcourt from breakaway dunks. But the Nets, they started Kessler Edwards, DeAndre Bembry, Daron Sharp, Patty Mills, and James Harden. It's being reported that Harden's frustration with Kyrie Irving's part-time status and Durant's injury and Steve Nash's rotation is becoming palpable. Bleacher Report's Jake Fisher had that report. Harden addressed it after the game yesterday. He said, I don't know about reports, but of course I'm frustrated. Frank, what does it portend?
Bill's having so much fun enjoying the Lakers win against the Renton Nets. James Harden left the Houston Rockets because he wanted to play with Kevin Durant, who's out until after the All-Star break, along with Joe Harris injured. Kyrie Irving only plays in road games. But guess what? His mood can change by the end of the season. If everybody gets back to Zil, the best team in the Eastern Conference. If not, maybe there's something in the works with Ben Simmons and Philadelphia after the season.
But you're still holding out on an if. Al Duncan, you're shaking your head no.
That's why, God, I don't know if James Harden's frustrated, but I am. I'm tired of the dusty Springfield net. We're wishing and hoping and planning and praying. We've been doing that for a year. Last year it was about injuries. This year it's because Kyrie won't get vaccinated. This is absolutely ridiculous. You saw it last night. Steve Nash is throwing 11 different dudes out there trying to figure out the lineup. James Harden should be frustrated. He forced his way out of Texas to come here. And now, look at this. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Bill Plaschke.
Put down your pom-poms, Frank. This is headed for divorce. Harden is looking at this. The Nets are 3-3 when Harden plays by himself. He didn't leave Houston to come to play for a 500 team. Like everybody else, he's wondering when's this all going to work together. I don't see
Kevin Durant is coming back. Aaron Lyles Jr.
Yeah, they need more. How about Kyrie Irving? When's he coming back?
I do think this is heading for an eventual divorce, but I do think that James Harden's frustrations will be tempered a little bit once Kevin Durant comes back and he actually has some help. Because they are hurt right now. He was double-teamed 7 times last night, which resulted in 3 points and 3 turnovers. When a guy like KD comes back, who draws more attention than any other player in the sport, I think James Harden will feel a little bit better about his situation, at least for this year.
Anthony Davis returned for the Lakers. Bill, do you want to talk about that?
Yes, please. Can I talk about it right now?
You knew he'd get the first touch, and it would look just like this. 25 minutes, 8 points, Bill. What's the takeaway?
My takeaway is I feel good about myself all season. They seem energized with AD out there. They seem to fit their roles better. The Nets shot 41%, 25% for 3-point. Lakers scored 29 fast break points. I realized they were barely 500 when Davis was healthy, but I think things have changed now.
Things have changed. You've seen enough with this one start in that Nets roster I just mentioned. All right, Harry Lyles?
Yeah, I think it is obviously a good thing to have a player like Anthony Davis back, especially defensively, but the Lakers still were kind of iffy with him when he was around. So the thing that I'm eager to see here is how does Frank Vogel, who we've been talking about a lot for weeks now, how does he manage this differently now that Anthony Davis is back and he's got LeBron on one of the best offensive tears of his career?
Frank Isola?
I was waiting for Bill to say Russell Westbrook did not come to the Lakers to play for a 500 team. But guess what? With Anthony Davis and LeBron, they can get after defensively. Not bad. El Duncan.
Yeah, great defense, but again, when AD was there before, they were 16 and 14, good for a 6 seed, and that was with the easiest schedule in the NBA. We will definitely learn a lot this week as they have the Sixers tomorrow, and they got a back-to-back in Charlotte, and they close out with Atlanta. I think that could be a good measuring stick, but I don't think we can take much from last night.
Buy or sell 3, Keith Yandel, the all-time Ironman streak in the NHL, 965 straight games. Whose record did he break? Anybody? Anybody? Yeah, you guys think Jarvis. Oh, I heard it late. I'm dunking it. I sold it. I'll give it to you. See, I'm not sensing the energy this deserves. Do you even know the number I just said 10 seconds ago and said 3 times in the show already? Does anybody?
965.
Thank you for learning a lesson. You're not getting points there.
No way.